We're live. Hey everyone, it's Tom Cupcake. Yep, I'm back, and we're all back. And as you can see, already making mistakes on episode number 12 of Digital Hoarders. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Hopefully, this gets off to a better roll, but hell, here we are.
Well, it's already off to a better start, Doc. You are here.
This is true.
And live and in person.
Yeah,
we don't have that
true.
shitty backdrop.
Also,
that was awful. I apologize to anybody that had to see that last week.
And we're back. Oh, it feels so good to be back.
It really does. It felt like an eternity.
We've been gone for 2 weeks. Doc, you've been gone for 3 weeks. How does it feel to come back?
Oh, it's like I'm back to the promised land. No, but it's good. I mean, I've missed just hanging out with you guys and talking, games. I mean, so much has happened in this time span. I mean, the motherload's just been happening. It's just been crazy. But I mean,
what happened? I didn't see anything.
I don't know. I mean, I guess this new console launches, got great games launching.
The new Sega?
Oh yeah. I mean, the new
NES Classic, right? Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
That was good.
Sega Genesis 2.
Yeah,
this time is this Genesier.
Oh shit. What have you guys been up to? Just take it away. What the hell you been up to?
Well, been pretty busy doing stuff. I don't know if you guys know, I'm a big fan of a video game. First off, I gotta bring it up. I don't know if this is gonna come through in the audio, but one of Brandon's dogs is
snoring
asleep
loud as shit
and snoring about 10 feet away. So if you hear, that's the dog, and it's not somebody dying in the corner.
Everybody listen.
Of course, it doesn't happen when we bring
stops.
it up. I don't know if you guys know, I'm a big fan of a video game. There's a dog starring Aloy.
Who?
Aloy. It's a little game called Horizon Zero Dawn. And the expansion, Frozen Wilds, came out yesterday. And I am just as happy as can be. It's a really fun little game. I won't talk about it too much. Everybody should play it. It's a cool expansion. I'm hearing it's pretty long. I'm 3 or 4 hours in. It doesn't seem like I'm
scratch the
surface yet. It's fun to just get back in that world. If anybody follows me on Twitter, it really is just so cool to just climbing a tall neck again is my favorite thing. And I don't know why. It's such a small little part of the game, but doing it is just the most fun I've had in a long time. And to jump back into that world, and first you're just kind of exploring and you get the beginnings of a quest, and then you go towards your marker, and then you see a tall neck off in the distance, and you're like, well, shit, that's what I'm doing now.
Go out of your way to get to that tall neck.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. So I've been playing that. I played it yesterday. I've obviously still been playing a lot of Fortnite. Any chance I can. In fact, I stopped playing everything else for a little while there just because I want to get first so bad. And I've tried to unleash the Jaguar Diego. I've tried, and it hasn't done me any good. I've gotten a lot better at combat. I've kind of just prioritized dropping in and trying to shoot as many people at once as I can and not hiding at all and not doing that.
That's not fun.
Yeah. So
this is why you have never finished in first.
Exactly. So my kill count has gone up a lot, but I haven't come close to getting first. But I also watched a little movie that was required of me 2 weeks ago. It feels like ages ago.
It really does.
The Final Girls, right?
Yes.
Yeah, The Final Girls. And it was a really fun movie. I'm really glad it was recommended. I don't remember who recommended it first. I remember Alex seconded it.
Yeah. I forget. Native, I think, maybe. But regardless, it was a great
It was such a good choice for me, especially that kind of horror comedy. Also, just kind of the whole storyline about it. It's kind of mysterious, and you're like, what is really going on here? And you don't really know. So it's funny, it's fun, it's gory, and then it's also a thing that you want to follow to the end because you want to see how the story plays out, because it's actually a really good story.
Yes.
Which isn't what you always get. I mean, even Shaun of the Dead is a great movie, and it's funny and it's gory, but there's no mystery to the story. You kind of know what's going to happen. He's going to go through a bunch of zombies and then be alive at the end. But spoilers.
What way to ruin it.
Other than that, I don't think I've been doing too much, just because when I was playing games, I was playing Fortnite. I still need to get to Wolfenstein 2. And I was so bummed today when Brandon pointed out that on Black Friday it's going to be $25 at Best Buy.
Best Buy. I'm all over that.
Yeah, I paid more for it and still haven't played it. So
that's the life of being a digital hoarder.
It really is. Like, that's what we do and what we deal with. It's a struggle, you know? These people don't understand the struggles that we go through to be a digital hoarder. You want to
first world problem.
Yeah, you want to play these games and you buy it and you spend too much money on it, and then 2 months later you're like, oh, I could have gotten it for $4 instead of $60.
I really wasted a lot of money there.
Yeah. Anyway, what have you been up to, man?
Video games. Well, with work lately, I've been having to get up at like 3, 4 a.m. and that's just hell. I like to go to bed at like 2 a.m. So that has changed. Getting up at 4. It really sucks. Like doing it a couple days in a row and then being tired at like 8, 9 p.m. You're old. And you go to bed at like 7:14, I think.
That's late.
Yeah, he's falling asleep right now.
We don't get to play much Fortnite together because Brandon gets on at like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
I'm asleep.
I'm barely awake to look at my phone. Go away.
But I have been playing a bunch of different things. Good God, since the last episode, I have platinumed South Park: Fractured Butthole, which is just such a great game.
Yeah,
great title. Great game. I know you had platinumed it before the last episode. I platinumed it since.
Now, I know you had some issues with a few spots in it. So how did that affect your... Because I loved
the game, but was I just kept running in more than once, like 7 times to be exact. In a row, it kept freezing just during one of the longer fights. It's a fight towards the end of the game where it's broken up into 4 different segments, and every time you die or it freezes, you have to start back from the absolute beginning. So I was really close to just being like, fuck this game, but I really liked that game, so I saw it through. Funny thing I actually didn't mention to you is there is the Morgan Freeman fight, which isn't a spoiler, it's very well known. I had the exact same thing happening to you. My character kept dying and he would charm the other one, and it took the longest time to be able to keep it around. So the final fight to get the platinum that probably should have took 10 minutes, maybe took a solid 45 minutes because of that little loop, but didn't take away the excitement or enjoyment of the game. It was a really fun game. I've been playing a lot of Slay Away Camp.
Oh, okay.
That game is so fun. It moves a lot like if you've ever played the Hitman Go or the Tomb Raider Go games. It kind of moves like one of those. The only difference is it's got an 80s slasher horror aesthetic to it. Like when you play the different levels, you actually go into the video store and pick the VHS off and then play it. So it's really cool aesthetic. It's like super. It's kind of Minecrafty almost, but it's super gory. So it makes it a fun game. Picked up a couple things off of the sale recently. A game called Bug Butcher. I don't know if you played that yet. It's awesome. It is a wave-based, just insane game. It was on sale for like $2.99 or something like that. And then last night I picked up I finished off my credit, so I picked up Frozen Wilds, Mummy Demastered, and Cars 3. Because here's the crazy thing.
I thought about it.
No bullshit. I was like, let me go look at Amazon and see what. There's 30 reviews on Cars 3. It has a 4.9 out of 5.
Yeah.
People say it's actually really good. It's 50% off right now. Plus, we got those 20% off coupons. So it made it like $20. I was like, all right, for 20, me and the kids will have fun with it. I haven't played it yet, but I did play the Mummy Demastered last night, and I fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. As far as movies go, I don't remember what all we watched. My wife, Mary, and I watched Bad Santa 1 and 2 because she wanted a Christmas movie. When she wants a Christmas movie, she wants like some cheesy Hallmark movie or Elf. Elf is great. We did watch Elf. We did watch Gremlins. I'm cool with those, but I wanted to change it up a little. So I went with Bad Santa 1, and then we watched Bad Santa 2. Hilarious. Actually, Doc, what is your favorite all-time Christmas movie?
Oh dear God, I'm gonna get shit for this. It's actually I actually like the Santa Claus series.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, that's not a.
Yeah.
No one's gonna
I'm not giving you shit.
So,
We almost bought them today. My wife Mary loves that series, And the Blu-ray set's on sale at Best Buy. We should have an episode where we just talk about sales.
We should talk about sales way more for a
We really
podcast
should.
called Digital Hoarders.
Well, if you want to hoard the Santa Claus Blu-rays, they're $30 for all 3 of them at Best Buy right now. What about you? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Man, I don't know. I wish you had prepared me for this question.
Sorry, it's not how we do things.
I don't think about it. Elf is a really, really good one.
Mhm.
It might be my favorite one. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure there's one that I'm not thinking of right now that my fiance Tanya. But by the way,
breaking news.
That happened. I guess that should have been brought up. I am engaged now as opposed to just dating like a child. I'm now engaged like a teenager. But anyway, so I'm sure.
No claps from Doc.
Yeah, nothing from Doc. Doc is upset that I'm engaged.
He lost out on Alden.
Yeah.
No Jaguar for Doc.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna text me and remind me of a movie that I like more, but I'm gonna say Elf for now, tentatively. I might at the very end of the episode just yell out another movie.
Just Die Hard.
Oh, does that count?
It is a Christmas movie.
Die Hard.
Gremlins is technically a Christmas movie.
No, get out of here with Gremlins.
It is.
No, it's a great movie, but it doesn't seem Christmassy at all.
It literally takes place the entire time during Christmas. All those murders are during Christmas. Mine, since nobody asked, is is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I fucking love that movie. You have I can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie. There's a second one with Larry the Cable Guy, I think. That's never gonna happen. But the first one, that's I just love that freaking movie. So that would be my choice for my Christmas movie. I don't know why we got on that tangent.
You asked.
I know, and it was fun while it lasted. Doc, rumor has it you got that new Xbox X thingamajigger, and
What?
you're slightly obsessed with it.
Yeah, what is it? I don't understand. I haven't heard anything about it.
Up. It's a monster. Here he goes.
It is the most powerful console on the planet. That being said, this thing eats up games, spits them out like it's nothing, and I just love it. This system is amazing. This is what Xbox should have released. I mean, a couple years ago. We all know where Xbox has come from the hardware spec and that stuff, but damn, this console is ridiculous. I mean, it makes my face melt when I'm playing games, like just the presentation on it. I mean, I've had to put my face on a couple times, but it's really good. I will say that, I've been excited, 2 years? I mean, hell, as gamers, we all just love new technology because, one, it pushes the others to innovate and rethink hardware and push the boundaries. And that's what Xbox did here. So, I mean, they went back to the roots, so I'm happy about that, And now what that means is they have a starting point. We've seen what they can do. Now there's no going back to it, so they have to keep building upon this moving forward on other console iterations. But that being said, I'm exhausted right now because I'm an old person, and like you guys, it was hard as hell to stay up, get the console, set it up, which I mind you, it was probably the easiest console I've ever had to set up. It took less than 4 minutes from start to go, update, done. I was like, holy crap. I have not had that ease of an issue, with anything. I was like, wow, this is awesome. But yeah.
I went to watch a movie on the S last night, and it was like, every time I turn my S on, it's like, here's an update. And then it goes, and I'm like, all right, it's done. And then it's like, just kidding, verifying update. And then the verifying crawls slower than the one before.
Yeah.
And then I'm done, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then they're like, psych, update for your controller. And I'm like, fuck you. What are you updating in a controller? And then that gets done, and I'm like, all right, we're finally going to watch Bad Santa 2. And it's like, psych, update for the Blu-ray player. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm really not in the mood to watch this movie anymore. But hey, it's all done.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get that. I like I told you, I agree with that. That's one of the shitty downfalls of it. But I do like that things are up to date. They're actually always, trying to make the system run at its optimal performance. So I don't mind the updates, just they come at the most inopportune times.
Of course.
Yeah, it's like, or if you don't, you have to stay offline. It's like, screw you.
Yeah.
But that being said, I played, as I told everyone, I started with Assassin's Creed Origins. I held out until the game, till the X came out, and thank heaven I did. I mean, the draw distance, the textures, the gameplay is so fluid. That's by far the best Assassin's Creed I've ever played, besides Black Flag. So. Yeah.
How far have you gotten into it? Because it also seems like you've played 512 other games on the X.
So I've only played about 2 hours on that, that one. So it was good on that. And then I went and I tried. Okay, let's go down the list. What I've tried. I tried.
Here goes the rest of the episode.
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow.
No, Madden 18. I played a couple matches. That's glorious 4K 60. That was just beautiful. I don't think I can ever play a football game. And the other again, that's a game changer there, fellas. If you like football, that's a showcaser there. Then of course I played Zoo Tycoon. Has this, it's fun. Everything else has a slight hitch with HDR right now. They're doing a quick update on it because it renders differently. I guess they bugged it, whatever. So I did that. Played Ark, which we were just talking about. I totally love it. It looks like a completely new game, just beautiful, smooth, clear, just awesome, pristine on that. Call of Duty. So I'm gonna get on my little soapbox here for a minute. So
World War II?
World War II. Call of Duty World War II. Mind you, I started the campaign on the Xbox One S. I messaged Brandon and I says, this game looks like utter shit. I mean, it looked like garbage. You could literally see the mesh overlays, like about 10 feet in front of you when you're going, and the rest of the stuff was fogged out, so you couldn't see the rest of the scenery. I was like, this is some crap. And like, there was just weird animation textures. I was like, this sucks. And Brandon said, oh, it's a beautiful game. I seen the thing. And I was like, bullshit. I was like, I'll wait until the X. I put it in the X. It's like night and day, everyone. It was ridiculous. Like, it was crystal clear. Like, textures were just, popping. You got everything, the geometry popping out on the textures on it. It just had depth on everything, clarity. I was like, holy shit, this is the best looking Call of Duty I've ever seen. So I've got through 5 missions on the campaign, and I'm loving it. It's just hands down amazing. So I did that. Forza, redid Forza, complete ridiculous. That's nuts. Racing games we would suspect would look amazing because of how they are, the kind of linear nature, but yeah, it's really eye-popping. I don't want to take the whole show up talking about how amazing this Xbox One X is.
We're happy that you're so happy though.
Yeah, it's just good to see you happy, buddy.
Yeah, it's as many of you know, I've been kind of down on gaming lately and everything else, so I'm happy to be reinvigorated with gaming again, and I'm just excited about it. So that's kind of going to lead into my games list, what you guys are going to all have to vote on in a little bit, but I'm excited.
Is there any games left that you haven't played yet? My God.
So I picked up a game called Final Fantasy XV. That thing.
That's a weird. How do you even pronounce that? Because of
no 15. So yeah, I snagged that one for $13 at GameStop on the night of the launch. So definitely, because I did have it before, but I gave the copy away to someone in need. So now hopefully I can try it out.
Is that on your list? Why don't you just give us your list?
Yeah,
right
what's
now?
your list?
Okay, so it's going to be Final Fantasy. Going to do that one. Going to do Disneyland Adventures since we just picked that up and need to do it. And oh my God, I'm going to give you a PS4 game, Until Dawn.
Hey, wait a second.
I know.
PS4 Until Dawn. Well, that's my choice.
No.
Yes, damn it. Stay off your X.
X gonna give it to you, baby.
Oh, Jesus.
How did they not use that in any commercials?
Well,
DMX needs the money.
Yeah, he's like, we're not gonna pay that.
Yeah.
No, he needs the money.
I guess my choice would be, I don't know. I've heard good things about Disneyland. What's it called?
Fuck up.
I
You
have.
not.
I have. It's weird.
Hold
And
on.
You heard
I'll
about
give you a
Disneyland
visual
Adventures.
representation.
What's your visual? Hold on.
Of
Just-
Doc's chair.
An empty screen?
Ah, beautiful.
Maybe don't play that then.
That really doesn't look good at all.
No, I feel like I'm missing a joke here.
He's gonna come back naked.
So
Gosh.
here are your choices. Okay. So you can
Yeah,
have
everybody listening in your car right now, we're looking
yes,
at the
we got
clippers.
Final Fantasy or this amazing Disneyland Adventures game
Just keep trying.
or Until Dawn.
Again, let's be honest. I'm picking Until Dawn, but we all fucking know it isn't going to be Until Dawn once
Yeah.
Doc retweets it. So
Once
it's
Doc's
going to be Disneyland Adventures
Xbox
because they're going to be like,
followers.
exclusive. Pick
Yeah.
that one.
I would like to hear about that game. I might see. Here's the thing.
I am intrigued by it. I would like to play with my girls.
You
I'm not going to
need
lie.
to play Until Dawn.
Yes.
I can't believe you haven't played Until Dawn. You need to play it.
Okay, I mean I'll give it a whirl.
And then you'll get a
actually,
beanie. And then
Yeah.
you'll get a beanie to wear.
Yeah,
I
when you
want a
beat it, you
beanie.
get a beanie.
Yeah, you'll
Well,
get
I
one.
want a beanie. But no, I
We
mean,
have to wear beanies right now because Brandon's house is very cold.
Yeah.
I
We
suspect
know we look
both
like
are-
douchebags, but we don't care. Mine also says PS4 Pro, so I just wanted to hear that.
Yeah, so later on we're going to talk mid-gen consoles, and Brandon's
Eventually.
wearing a PS4 Pro hat. So what do you expect?
And Doc's it's a monster. Oh, he's wearing a
No.
mixer. What the
Yeah,
hell?
what's up, Mixer? No, just
Oh my god.
We have gone off the rails, my friends.
Uh,
So, all right. So that's your poll.
so if anybody's not familiar, what we'll do when this show is over is we'll put up a poll on Twitter with those three games, Until Dawn, and Until Dawn, and you guys will pick one. And it'll run for 24 hours. When it's over, Doc will play whatever game it is you guys choose and report back on it next week if we're actually here. Side note, Logan, my soon-to-be born son, is trying to make his appearance into the world a lot sooner. His release date was pushed up. He was supposed to come out December 15th, but the developers are pushing him up to kind of any day now. So
Who developed him?
me
Wow.
with my seat. No.
Wow.
whoa, hey, off the
Um,
rails we go.
with,
I do have to go.
well, I do.
But
need to get-
he could come any day now. So next week might be up in the air. We'll see. But if not, Doc will be back to talk about probably Disneyland Adventures. Who am I kidding? But no, real talk there, Doc. Oh my God, he stripped since I came back to the camera. Real talk though, I'm just happy to see you so happy right now because like you said, you were kind of getting down on gaming for a while there, and that's not the case anymore. So it's good to see you having fun with games, as it should always be.
And that's like we all go through that where you just kind of hit a point where you're like, ugh, I don't want to look at anything else
Mhm.
right now. I know I'm just gonna press buttons and stuff's gonna happen. But it's always so refreshing and exciting to jump back into it and be back into it. And you seem so excited and happy thanks to your Xbox One X, and it's good to see.
Yeah, I definitely feel a reinvigorated passion. I know many of our followers and watchers and listeners, they're like, Doc, you've been so critical of gaming. Well, yeah, that's because I was down. Deal with it.
Yeah.
No, just like,
Suck it up.
suck it out. But no, it's all good. I mean, I'm always going to be, I will always give my opinion. We're humans. That's what we're going to do. But you know what? I just love gaming because it brings us together. And I mean, like this, it's brought my brother and I back together, and we hadn't gamed, I say, since Madden 18's launch. So that's what I love gaming about. It's just something about it that brings us together: the friendship, the bonds, and the experiences. So
Good. I'm happy for you, buddy.
So while we're talking about the Xbox One X, kind of what we wanted to talk about this week, unless we had something else to go into, mid-gen consoles. And that's going to be a pretty common phrase to a lot of the people in the chat, a lot of people that follow us on Twitter, but to those of our family members and whoever follow, my sister Alicia, who said when we tweeted out, she said,
I wish you knew what you were talking about.
"I wish I knew what you were talking about."
So let's not explain it. Go.
But so to those of you who don't know, mid-gen consoles is this is kind of a new thing. It's a real new thing in the console world. as far as like consoles go, usually when it comes out, you get the NES and you don't get anything in between, and then you get an SNES. And you get a PS1, you don't get anything else until you get the PS2. You'll get upgrades to the PS1 or whatever, but it won't do anything better. It'll just be smaller, it'll run better, it won't crash, whatever. We're getting into this point, though, where everything kind of everything's being upgraded. When you get a phone, a new one's out next year that's bigger, better, and faster. It'll do all the same things. It'll download all the same apps, and they'll all run for probably a few years until you get 3 or 4 iterations down the line. But it runs a lot better and can do newer and cooler things. We haven't seen that in the console world. And in the console world, it's a lot more expensive sometimes.
You saw body like upgrades, but
yeah,
the thing is, when a lot of people would say like with the PS4 that it's had the Pro is its third, it's really not.
Right.
The Slim is literally the OG PS4 just with a new body. The S was a little, they added shit to it, especially the 4K player and stuff like that. But so I think the S was the first time, maybe outside of, well, Nintendo handhelds have done it. And
that's true.
That's the first time I've ever, as a consumer, was literally just past weekend where first time I was like, fuck those things, because Minecraft is coming to 3DS. Yep. I wanted to get it for my daughters for Christmas because they love Minecraft. Pre-order it, and I'm sitting there and I pre-ordered it at Best Buy online, and I get the email and I'm looking at it, and then I look at the top and it says only for new Nintendo 3DS, and I'm like, fuck you, it's Minecraft. But because I don't have the new Nintendo 3DS, they're out of it. That, I think that's bullshit. I don't like. It's still the same system, and now I can't, like for the X and the Pro, that's not going to happen. There's always going to be those games that you can play on both, but I don't like that Nintendo did that. I don't like that at all.
But let's say
Minecraft. It's not exactly very visually tasking.
But say we start going down that road and we keep upgrading instead of fully opening up new consoles. At what point? I mean, maybe we get PS5 in 5 years, and then 3 years later, it's another PS5, and then it's another PS5, and then all of a sudden, the previous games don't play on the new PS5 that play on the first PS5, because eventually we're going to get to that. I mean, that's the way it works with phones. You get several years down the line.
Eventually, but usually by that time, you're not still on the same hardware. That's the thing. Nobody knows if the next thing is a PS5 and a PS6 and a PS7 and a PS8, or is it a PlayStation?
Yeah,
and then it's all hardware components. I don't know if we're at that yet, because I think that's where that kind of stuff gets tricky. I think you muddle the retail space as far as like what you can and can't play on each system. That's why I would like console. I'm totally fine with mid-gen console updates. Seeing somebody as happy as Doc is for the X, and seeing, being able to take advantage of those 4K TVs that we all spend too much money on. It's nice to play games that are beautiful on it. But I'm fine with that as long as it stays in the same ecosystem. I think I don't really want to see the day come where this is a PlayStation Pro game. This is not a. I don't want to see that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to see that.
No, I agree 100% with what you're saying. I mean, that's why I'm enjoying the ecosystem right now. I mean, as we can see, as I've said before, the original Xbox compared to what I just got here is like ridiculous. This feels like a brand new console, next gen console launch for me, but it allows me to have all the same experiences, through the Xbox One family. So with what I'm seeing and what I'm trying to figure out as a consumer and as someone who studies the business of the industry side is, how effective is this on the market? Because literally last year, August 2nd, my birthday last year, I paid $400 for an Xbox One S, which was micro boost, in performance and that stuff, but also came with the 4K Blu-ray driver. And this year, I have a $500 upgrade, So that one is weird, I'm kind of like, I understand the S model, like you guys were discussing, like how the Xbox 360, the slim versions, the smaller versions, or the PS, 3 had came with its different iterations, all the way to where it actually came to almost the 12 gigabyte budget models at the end there. And as where Xbox is like, oh yeah, here's a 4 gigabyte model, and you're like, what the hell? It's like
the
dirt
arcade
cheap
model.
Yeah, the arcade model. But now what we're dealing with is, we had the PS4, then we have the Pro, and then we have the redesigned one. So it's kind of like, I see the two companies did their take, kind of in the similar fashion, but unfortunately for Xbox, their upgrade was more drastic because, let's not kid ourselves, we were dealing with DDR3 and yes, RAM that did shit who knows what. And it just was not a beast of a console. It was not up to specs, compared to what PS4. And so Xbox was lagging like 2 years behind anyway. And so now, the gap is different. But I think moving forward, now that each console has, we've seen what PlayStation 4 can put out. We've seen what Xbox can put out. So their next ones in 2 to 3 years, they're going to be like, okay, here's another $400 or $500 console. Boom.
Yeah.
And I think this is the kind of the trend that we're going to see moving forward, because technology is kind of a standstill. Is it just me, or does it feel that, the iPhone, the new iPhone, not a gigantic leap from 2 years ago, but as we're looking at PC and we're seeing the components come out, and you're like, well, what kind of power, what really, how much more can you squeeze out of this, out of this silicon base? How are you going to be able to do that? So, with the prices falling of it, I think our gap between consoles and PC are going to catch up to a point where it's kind of like, here you go. This is good for a longer period of time. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to be like, oh, every 2 years, okay, here's an update of just a little bit of tweaks, but it's backwards compatible?
I think it really depends on how consumers respond to this. Right now, consumers are responding pretty well to the Xbox One X. And from what I've heard, the PlayStation Pro or PS4 Pro has been pretty well received as well. And if that keeps up, if people keep paying for it and wanting it, then they're just going to keep doing this. They're going to keep iterating and releasing new consoles in between console cycles. And then too, Alex brought up in the chat, the PS5, it's got to be backwards compatible to compete with what Microsoft is doing now. So at what point does the PS5 just kind of feel like an iteration too, and not feel like a brand new exciting console release? It'll have to do something really special to feel different. But I do feel like along the line, 2, 3, 4 years later, it's going to be PS5.2, PS5.3. I don't even know how Xbox is going to do it. Are they going to make the Xbox 2 and then
They're
Xbox
confusing
2.1?
names, yeah.
X point, yeah. So,
bro, are we going to have Xbox E? So we have the SEX? I don't know.
Hey. Now we're talking.
But no, I totally get you. It's just weird, right?
yeah.
I can totally understand with you, because I love the fact that my Xbox, I literally unplugged my console, left the cords there, plugged them in the back of this new Xbox, and it just worked. It just perfect. Yep. And all my games just worked with it, and so if the PS5 comes out, and it doesn't do that, we're in trouble, and if Xbox surely does that, they're going to be in a world of shit, because their mantra has been, oh, we're backwards compatible. Everything's just going to work. We're one big ecosystem, So this is a time in our industry that's changing, and it's setting the precedents moving forward. The only outlier is fucking Nintendo, who says, you know what, screw your backwards compatible. We're just going to force you to buy new mini controllers, and we're going to take your virtual console away. And oh, you know what? All those purchases you made, gone. Bye. Yeah. Your investment done.
All those NES games that you bought on the Wii aren't going to work on your 3DS, and they're not going to work on your Wii U, and it's not even going to exist on your Switch.
Yeah,
but people keep buying it. That's the thing, though. People, you can speak with your wallet, and if you don't, then these things are going to keep happening. And I'm not even saying it's a bad thing or whatever. Console iterations, I think it's really cool. I like the console iterations. I don't like that thing that Nintendo did. That was the first time it's ever come back to burn me. So I'm a little. I don't like that. But Nintendo's
been
doing it since we were kids.
Just don't make it a fucking 3DS then. Make that a new handheld.
But they had
make that a Switch game.
Game Boy Color and then Game Boy Advance, which
that's fine. And that sucked then too. It sucks now.
Yeah.
But it's like I have a 3DS. This is a 3DS game, but I can't play it.
Oh, I totally. It's because there's that chip in it, right? That upgraded.
I guess I'm not entirely. Yeah. It's Minecraft. Though.
Also, it might be
I can play Minecraft on my calculator.
The extra stick where you can control the camera now. You couldn't do that on the first 3DS.
It just sucked because that was Christmas presents. Now they're out the window now.
Now he has to.
I am not buying a fucking 3DS just so they can play Minecraft.
Yeah, it sucks.
I have it on the Vita. They can play it on the Vita.
My kids have 3DSs and 2DSs, and they love Minecraft, and they'd be all about a Minecraft port. I do have a new 3DS XL, so I could get it, but I mean, I'm not going to get it. Yeah. It just sucks that I can't get it and play with my kids because that would be cool if we all had it. But I mean, whatever. We have it on phones and tablets, and it's everywhere. Minecraft, I can't turn around without seeing Minecraft.
Well, that's a good reason. It's got 121 plus million copies sold.
Wow,
it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a foundation that that could be great for the industry if we do iterations properly. That does not screw the consumer, because once you start screwing the consumer, after you've pushed them so much in the digital direction, they're gonna start pulling back from it once they start realizing like, oh shit, if I purchase this digitally, it's not gonna be good in a couple of years.
Is your dog getting murdered?
That is my wife just getting home, so yeah.
Welcome to Digital Hoarders, where somebody's dog is always making noise that nobody wants to hear.
I would like to point out, you can't, when I say there's a dog being murdered in the background, you can't say that's my wife.
She's murdering the dog.
So I'm going to mute myself so the users don't have to hear it.
Oh, well.
What do I say? Alden. Welcome to Digital Hoarders.
No, not.
Roadshow.
So how do you, I mean, you're the PlayStation guy. How do you feel about How do you feel about PS4 Pro? I mean,
again, as long as I don't have any issues with mid-gen console upgrades, as long as they're staying in the ecosystem. Like I think the Pro is great. I think it was the first console to be able to do 4K gaming, and that was huge. And now Xbox is doing it at a better rate, and that's huge. That's the thing about these is somebody has to take that first step. So PlayStation had to take the first step with the Pro and say, okay, 4K. And when the Pro was coming out, everybody was like, not enough people have 4K TVs. That's stupid. Yeah. Who wants that? That's dumb. I don't know why they would do that. It's a year later and Xbox is doing it, and there's still plenty of people out there like, that's stupid. Not enough. And that's not true. Yes, there's not 4K TVs in every home, but I do think they're a lot more relevant now than they were 1 year ago when the Pro was out. But I think it's a smart thing. Somebody has to take that leap for it first, and then PlayStation took it, and now Xbox took it. And all this can do is make PlayStation better. And they're going to come out with something more powerful. And then what's that going to do? It's going to make Xbox. They got to step. So it's all good. It all forces people to make big things. But I still don't think we're at the day and age where it's a PlayStation and then it's different parts. I don't think we're there because – like Doc said, when does it feel like a new console? It's as cheesy as this sounds. It feels like a new console when it's called the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Real talk. Like that's because when it's still a PlayStation 4 Pro, it's still a PlayStation 4. The minute they call it a PlayStation 5, that's when it's a whole new console. Even if it really is just the answer to the X, it'll be a whole new console. And like Alex said, and you said, I really don't see how They have to answer with backwards. They have to answer with backwards compatibility.
100%.
I'm on record in saying I like PlayStation now. When they purchased Gaikai, it made sense. That's a huge company. They paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
I just kind of think that it was too little, too late, and it came on. And what Microsoft did was, excuse me. And I don't have a voice. Microsoft saw that, and when they were able to answer it with a not a pay-as-you-go service, that was huge, and it kind of took the wind out of the sails of PlayStation Now. That being said, PlayStation Now is still a great product. It really is. It does let you try games you maybe didn't know exist.
Yeah.
If you have a good internet connection, they stream so they don't take up your hard drive space. Blah blah blah.
They did pull it from the Vita, which is a bummer.
Yes,
PlayStation.
yes.
That sucks for me.
Going forward, whenever the PlayStation 5 is a thing, I do think it would be foolish to not make it at least PS4 backwards compatible. I don't know how far back you go.
Yeah.
You go PS3 digitals. I don't know. But it'd be foolish to not make it at least PS4 backwards compatible.
Sorry. I have something. I thought about that. I've sat and thought about how the Pro is situated. When I saw the Xbox One S come out in its midlife, and I was like, okay, interesting product. You're giving us a 4K Blu-ray player in this. So, I mean, that's their value proposition. So, like PlayStation did, they went with the Blu-ray, at the forefront, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is so awesome, and you get a great value. I mean, you can pull up, thousands of articles where people said, that's the greatest thing it's putting in it, and that was forward thinking back then. So Xbox hopped on that, and then we saw the Pro lacking with that. So that makes me wonder, because the 4K market is just really starting. 2016 started this 4K rush. I mean, that's literally when the first Blu-rays were started, 4K ultra high def, and good God, dogs. But with these games, you're seeing, how big of space that they're taking with the 4K.
Yeah.
Which scares me with like a PlayStation Now service, that one kind of scares me for the sheer fact of streaming. What's that mean for the life of that service if they're going to use it for backwards compatibility? Are we going to have, oh yeah, you can go ahead and stream this 100 gig game, it's kind of like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it goes forward to the PlayStation 5, I don't think PlayStation Now is a thing. And if it is, it's a strictly retro game thing. It's a service for retro games because of exactly what you're saying. There's no way in hell.
That's the thing that I see. And I mean, even when people said it was not possible for Xbox for backwards compatibility, the engineer said, you know what, screw this, we're going to figure it out. And I mean, I've talked to Bill a couple times and how the teams devise this and that stuff. And it takes a lot of work. I mean, you have to literally change your whole, framework of system to work on it. And I mean, I think that's what PlayStation might have to do, is rework their framework to fit in a backwards compatible thing. That's what I'm seeing, maybe something has to change within the system to allow some kind of BC. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take some kind of reworking, I'm sure, but that's why I'm saying I think that when it's a PlayStation 5, that's when it feels like a new console, not a fancier version.
And from what I understand, the way the consoles are being I don't know, the infrastructure of the consoles now are getting closer and closer to the PC inside. So it should hopefully be easier for them to engineer the next console to play the previous console's games. I would hope. I mean, fingers crossed. But my digital backlog is so huge. I would be hesitant to get a PS5 if I couldn't play back over my backlog for PS4.
You would not.
I wouldn't, because Brandon would beat me into submission until I got a PS5.
Really, let's be honest, it wouldn't be that hard. I'd be like, are you sure? You're right, I should probably.
And then I'd say to my fiance Tanya, Brandon made me do it.
Yep, and it's always my fault. But it's okay. I'll take the blame.
But it's I don't know. It's an interesting time that we're in. It'll be really cool to look back. I mean, look back on this conversation 10 years from now when we see more of how it's played out. Right now, it's just so in its infancy that we don't know how it's going to go. And it's all going to be based on how easy it is to do and how much people will pay for it.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I got.
I agree. You're so smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool. I mean, I'll be there day one for whatever console because I just love gaming.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's back. He's back.
He's back in. We got him back in.
I mean, I got the PSVR day one. I mean,
that's right, you did.
Yeah. Walk my happy ass.
Speaking of PSVR, friends of the show, Digital Hoarders, we need to let you know.
That's today.
That is today. A friend of the show, Richard Lico, amazing guy.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, where we got to have him back on because we had so many technical issues that it wasn't fair to him.
And he watches the show to this day, which is so fucking cool.
I don't know why.
It's for Doc.
I'm pretty sure Brandon makes him.
I do. I send him. I PayPal him. New episodes.
But Moss today released. I guess there's a PSVR demo disc number 2 that
and
you
Moss
can
is a part
download
of it.
now, and Moss is on it. I can't.
Everybody
wait to
go
get
play
home.
it. Everybody who has a VR, play it. If you guys remember Richard, he was so cool.
Such a cool dude. Buy the game, pre-order the game, get the cool theme that you get with it.
Support that game, support that man. But yeah, totally. Everybody go home and download that right now.
Yeah, in fact, I'm really upset that I didn't start the download before I left home because now I've got to start it when I get home.
But yeah, good call though. Everybody go home, or if you have a VR, download it. Hell, even if you don't download it, show them the download numbers. Let them know.
Yeah, if you don't have a VR, get one.
Yeah, just to download the Moss demo.
Yep. Game comes out in February, they announced.
They said, yeah.
So look forward to that. I can't wait to play that game. And I've said it before. I don't care whether I've talked to Richard Glico or not. That game looks unbelievable and really, really cool and special. I can't wait to play it. And the animation is impeccable.
Yeah. I don't know who's animating over that Polyarch Studios, but woo, beautiful. If we're talking about new and upcoming games, what did everybody think? I've got a little bit of time here. What did everybody think of the Paris Games Week's announcements? They were, if everybody saw, we got the new incredibly brutal and awesome Last of Us 2 trailer. Ghost of Tsushima, the new Sucker Punch game.
I've been waiting for Sucker Punch.
Some more God of War, some more Detroit, some more Shadow of the Colossus, which they put a date on it. That's in February also.
Yeah.
There's just so much cool shit coming. There's so much coming. I know Doc was most excited for Shadow of the Colossus. He's very excited for that game.
Very excited for it. I mean, that game that holds a very special spot in my heart. Mm-hmm. I love Ico. If you guys all remember, that's kind of the same family of games, and so I'm very, very excited for that. I mean, I'm not going to dampen anyone else's party, but a lot of great games coming. PUBG 1212, hell yeah, I'm excited. Pew pew, baby. No, but beyond that, side note, I know I told everyone that was my favorite game that I watched. I do like how Sony was not afraid to showcase emotion and rawness in their case. As a person who's seen death and seen, bad shit in life, that doesn't faze me because I've been desensitized to that type of video, that kind of stuff. To others, I understand that it may, evoke an emotional response, but you have to understand that's what these developers and creators are trying to do. When you create something so graphic and so violent, it's supposed to elicit some type of response from you, as any medium or message or anything that communicates something. That's always what it's meant to do. So I'll give Sony kudos for willing to step outside the box of the norm and push those boundaries and realism. Like I said, I will reiterate that it may not be for everyone, because it won't be. We all come from different walks in life, unfortunately, and we've all experienced traumatic things in our life. I know I've seen some of the comments. I've talked to some people about it. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I know some of those are listeners. Just, I want you to know, I understand where you come from, but this is good for our industry. I want to point out it is good for our industry because it is pushing us in a more open aspect, where I believe this will lead into more inclusive games, LGBT and that stuff.
Well, I think too, we play games all the time that have these kind of situations in them. When it's in the course of a game, or even like if you look in other media, if it's in the course of a movie, it's in the course of a book. But if it's in the course of a game, you normally take it as part of the story. When it's shown in a trailer like that, it definitely feels more shocking. And I get where people come from when they say that was too much for me, because without the context of what you're going through, you're not as married to the plot and the story and trying to figure out where things are going. You're just looking, and in the case of the Last of Us 2 trailer, you're looking at characters that you have no idea who they are, and you're seeing awful things happen to them, and you don't have that kind of bond with the characters. So what you feel like you're seeing is just violence. I'm sure when you're playing the game, by the time you get to that spot, you know who these characters are. You're worried about them. There's drama. There's I don't know. It's a little more intense for you, but more easier to stomach, I guess.
But and see, I'm on the I'm on the other side where I absolutely loved the Last of Us 2 trailer. I love that they pulled no punches because, like Doc said, video games are a form of art. And if art is to be taken seriously, then we need to show you that we can touch on lots of topics just as good as, if not better than, the movie and TV industry. But in The Last of Us, in the Last of Us 2 trailer, it was incredibly violent and brutal. And Polygon wanted to get all up in arms and blah, blah, blah. My thing about what Polygon, I think it was Polygon, said is it okay that it's okay now to show violence against women? Here's my thing. If you're going to stand on the table to not like violence, it shouldn't matter if it's against women. Yeah. You either like violence or you don't. It shouldn't matter that it was against women or it isn't. If you didn't like the violence, you didn't like the violence. They didn't like the violence because it was against women, even though it was a woman beating the shit out of a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Get over it. But when we saw the first Last of Us trailers, if you remember, they were brutal as fuck.
Yep.
Joel is smashing a dude's face against a brick wall. You were excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm just as excited. I don't care that I don't know who these characters are. I don't give a shit. All I know is that scene. I can't wait to get to that scene now when I play The Last of Us 2. That's what it invoked in me was, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who these people are, but let me see more of this. I want to understand why this is happening. So to me, it just said, hell yeah, bring it on. I don't care that I have no idea who that chick is and who that person that got their arm broken was. I don't care that I don't know who you are, but I'm excited to find out because I know what's coming is going to be heavy. So everybody's different, but for me, I've never seen. I was sitting watching that with my wife Mary, and when they said let's clip her wings, and they put her arm down, and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty. I can't believe this. I 100% expected the camera to pan away, a little bit, and they're like, nope, you're gonna watch this because it's post-apocalyptic. Guess what? It ain't all fucking rainbows and unicorns. It's a terrible place. So you're going to watch, and when you watch that shit happen, you feel it more.
Yeah.
When stuff happens off screen, you're like...
that in my core. Just
absolutely. Like, yep. And it was brutal. Like when they picked her up and they put the knife to her stomach, while they didn't cut, you were cringing.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that because that's better to me than just like... It's just like... It's all happening off screen or they've come to it afterwards. Show me what's happening so that I can understand it more. I'm okay with that. And put that in a trailer. So, hey, now when you go into The Last of Us, hey, you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
The first one was incredibly violent. Anybody who's beaten The Last of Us and they know the final mission, that's one of the most violent missions I've ever played in video game history. It was never a tame series. So I don't understand why everybody's so like...
Yeah.
Whoa, The Last of Us took it too far. Get over it. It's a video game. Like, it's a different form of medium. When I see movies, that's like watching an action trailer movie and they don't show any action. You don't go watch that movie for action. Then you're like, what was that? But when they show that guy getting kicked off a building or getting lit up in it, that's the people who stand up and go, hell yeah, I can't wait to see that movie. That's why you do that kind of stuff, because people want to see that shit. Because we're all fucked in the head. So.
Well, some of us more than others.
Me, much more than you. So.
Yeah.
Doctor,
are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I was enjoying. I'm reading the chat. Definitely getting their perspectives. Definitely, like I said, I mean, it's an interesting prospect. We definitely know that it's going to be a much more brutal post-apocalyptic experience going into it. We don't have context yet, as such as Alex pointed out. So that's definitely...
I don't want context.
I know. Some people do, and that's okay.
But what I'm saying is, but for the trailer's sake, they're trying they're putting into you a sense of this game is heavy. That's what this game is. You're gonna see some shit, and when they do it like this, you understand going into it what you're gonna see. I watch enough horror movies. All you have to do is watch any Red Band trailer. They don't shy away from shit. If anything, the Last of Us 2 trailer was a Red Band trailer. Yeah. That's what it was. When a Red Band comes up before a trailer, you know I'm probably going to hear some language. I'm going to see some gore, maybe some nudity. That's because
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for some nudity. But that's what the Red Band is. So when they put it on the screen like that for you to see, I get, you know, it's eliciting that shock value. That's fine. That's exactly what it is. It is shock value because I don't think anybody outside of Naughty Dog employees thought that we're about to see what we saw. I don't think anybody's thought that.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't lessen the game's, you know, if they could have done it differently, let's say it all happens off screen. Okay. Just because I didn't see it, it still happened. What we're getting upset about is what happened in it. But just because it happens off screen doesn't mean it didn't happen. So just watching it is
some people are just not into it, and that's okay.
But that doesn't. But I don't. When people want to attack the developer, I don't understand that at all. People are attacking Naughty Dog like that they made some poor decision.
Yeah,
and I don't know
that I've seen that. So.
I'll pull it.
Yeah. I'm not a.
That's all Polygon did.
Polygon
said that it was just despicable that they would show that. Why do they think it's okay for violence against women? Why do they think there is just torture porn? That was the very common term being thrown around. But we're adults. It's an M-rated game. If it might be too heavy for you. Hey, if nothing else, this trailer told you it's going to be heavy. If you couldn't sit through the trailer, you're not going to want to sit through the game. Maybe that's
but
that's
you have to see at E3. I mean, PlayStation pushed the boundary, which was a very cringe moment that I think still stands to this day as the most cringe-worthy in the industry, having people hung up, you know, on posts. That was a little bit crazy there, folks, you know.
But to me, it's an art form. This is what this game is. So this is like, it's like street. Oh God, it's Joel. It's like street art. Like, we're trying to tell you what this is in a different way that I've never seen done before.
I get it. I mean, I'm okay with that. It's just that was my only complaint I've ever had with them.
That was crazy. That thing was crazy.
I was just like, what the hell are you doing right now? I'm like, people are probably like, what the fuck are you? I'm sorry, excuse my language, but dang, I was literally, I mean, I don't get you. I was like, are they killing people right now? I was like, is this a witch hunt thing going on? What do we got going on? But yeah, that was the shock value for me. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, like, nothing's really gonna phase me. You can kill someone, murder someone on like hostile, cut people's Achilles off, whatever, you know. It is what it is. I mean, because I know it's not real. That's where I separate the from reality to fiction. You know, I'm able to, my mind's to that distinction. So yeah. Anyway,
did you guys see Guacamelee 2? Because that's all I care about.
No, there wasn't enough arm bashing in there. Too many chickens for me. But
Guacamelee 2, I am in. I'm so excited. Guacamelee is probably my favorite platformer of all time, and I love platformers, 2D platformers. So I can't wait for Guacamelee 2. I know they've dropped hints for years that they're going to work on Guacamelee 2. They just wanted to get other stuff out of the way. I'm excited that they're going to it now and not something else, because I love Guacamelee. I love the setting, the art style, the music, and the gameplay is just so tight that it's really hard for a lot of people. I mean, I've just played those kinds of games for so long that it wasn't that difficult to me, but just about everybody I know who played it gets stuck halfway through the game. But I love that. I mean, Super Meat Boy is one of my favorite games of all time.
That game irritates me. I know you love that game.
I love Super Meat. I beat all of Super Meat Boy, Light World, Dark World.
You have the plat, don't you?
No, there's no way I'm going to get the plat. To get the plat, you have to beat every world without dying.
Screw that.
Once.
Screw that.
I have 3 or 4 of those trophies, beating World 1, 2, and 3 without dying.
And that is it.
Yeah, but even that, I mean, most people, that's probably my rarest trophy, is beating World 3 without dying. It's like 0.01% of people who play the game get that platinum. And it's just kind of a thing I've always excelled at. It's the one kind of game that I'm good at. If you've watched me play Fortnite, you know it's not that.
That's like the Shovel Knight platinum. You have to you can't die the entire game.
Yeah.
As my buddy Dean has that, and I'm just like, how did you Shovel Knight's a fantastic game.
It is.
But I can't. It sucks the fun out of it, like restarting a level every time. That's just, it sucks the fun out. Like with Stick of Truth, they have the trophy where you can't let one of your buddies die.
Mhm.
They can die, you can revive them, they just can't be dead at the end. That was not so bad. You had to keep that in your mind at all times, like revive him before this fight ends, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But not dying, I can't do that.
It's rough. I didn't get the Shovel Knight plat for the same reason. And it wasn't that I couldn't do it. Shovel Knight's not as hard as Super Meat Boy, but it is.
Oh, no, by no means.
It wasn't like worth it to me. I got through a few worlds without dying, and I just said, I don't need this platinum. It's okay.
Yeah. So I'm going through the chat here. Alex, who everybody loves. Hey, will it be on the show next week, actually?
Will he? Have we?
Yeah, if hopefully he does. Don't leave, Alex. We're talking about you. Alex will be on the show next week, and I would love, because Alex is fucking awesome, to dive into exactly what we were just talking about, because he and I have a completely different points of views on the violence in trailers and gaming and stuff like that. So I'd love to talk to him about that, because I think that Alex is a very upstanding and mature person, so he and I can have a conversation that doesn't turn into fisticuffs, which would be impossible because we're in completely different states. But
and they can disagree and end the conversation. And I'm gonna, spoiler alert, they're still not gonna agree.
No, we're not.
But
and then I'm gonna block him and never talk to him again.
Well, never
yep.
mind.
See, exactly. I'm right.
I was gonna say, but
I love you.
But they'll still be friends, and it'll be great, and we'll all get along.
We'll sing Kumbaya on the Patreon special. So
yep. Naked.
But so there you go. Next week, the amazing Wagerman / Alex will be on the show. And I guess we're going to talk about violence and all kinds of stuff, because Alex knows, he's been around the industry for quite a long time. So he's a great guy. So that'll be a fun episode. Blocked.
So that going to be it for us?
I think
you got
so.
anything to add, Doc?
Doctor?
Xbox One X is amazing.
Sorry.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Frozen Dawn. What?
Frozen Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn, Frozen Until Dawn Wilds.
Look, you guys, I don't need to hear the laughter. I'm here when I could be there playing
This is true.
Frozen Wilds.
And I don't know what I'd be doing.
Playing Moss on PSVR.
Yeah, well, you said Frozen Wilds, so.
Shh. I don't know which one I'm going to do.
But yeah, I can't. I'm very, very, very happy for you, Doc. I love to see how excited you are to be gaming again.
Yep.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, this OLED television is getting used finally, so it is to its full potential now, and I'm excited for where gaming is actually headed now. So I've seen it, and I mean, folks, don't get me wrong. I have a Pro, and I told the gentleman before, I mean, my very first game was Horizon Zero Dawn. I booted up onto it, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That was my first foray into true console 4K stuff, and I was just like, holy crap, this is what to do. And then seeing what the X could do, I'm just completely blown away. So future's bright. 4K's coming. If you like it or not, it's happening. Black Friday's coming up. Make sure you get a 4K television.
Exactly.
Get a 4K TV and Wolfenstein 2
for $24.
Oh shit! I forgot I played some Wolfenstein 2. I love killing Nazi. Yes, I did. I'm close to 6 or 7 hours into that damn game. I love that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually put some time into that. I was playing on the S on that, and it still rocked. That game is awesome. That's wow. I was surprised. I didn't know I needed that game, but I needed that game. That was awesome. So
I need to get into it. I just haven't had the chance. While we're talking about things I forgot that I watched Stranger Things season 2, and it is really, really good. It's not quite as good as season 1. But nothing is going to be. Season 2 was phenomenal.
I've watched none of it. Okay, none of season 1, none of season 2. And I sound like a dick because he's a kid.
Well, usually, yes.
Oh, I am a dick, but I'm going to sound like a super dick now because he's a child.
Oh, no.
The Dustin kid?
He's amazing.
I need to stop seeing him and stuff, though.
Just watch the show.
Okay, I will. But he's in fucking Pizza Hut and Verizon commercials. And I'm just like, all right, kid, go away. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'll appreciate him more when I see him on the show.
So.
Right now, I'm like, stop. He's everywhere I turn right now.
He is my favorite character in the show.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yep.
Who is?
Dustin.
Oh, I think, is there a guy named Lucas in it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, he was at the Xbox One X launch party.
Just end the stream.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah, we're done. Just always
The
see
kid,
how-
he doesn't know any better. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So next week, Alex / Wagerman, I don't know what to call him, will be on the show. So that'll be fun to talk to Alex. And I don't know what else we'll talk about, but it'll be a good show. It
It'll be
always is.
great as always, guys.
always.
Just join us and have fun with us, and we'll all make sweet ear love together.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's hot.
Well, this
All
just got weird right at the end, huh?
This is how we like to end it.
All
Make it
right.
all cringy.
All right.
Yeah, so that is us signing off. Make sure you go ahead and also listen to #Dad
Oh,
podcast.
Pod.
Yeah.
thank you.
So
Thanks,
no
Doc.
problem.
That's-
All right.
you're the best.
Appreciate the shout out.
Yeah.